David Mann from Virginia, future matches. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sun right into the camera. So,
I believe in winning. Hope for you.
Yeah, so
oh, it's not your problem, to be honest. It's not your fault, you know. They told you to come here.
I have no control over the sun.
Yeah.
When do you reckon they should go?
I don't know. I'm not from the humanity stuff. I'm from Argentina. I just collect data.
The data.
Data.
So you're doing commentary as well?
No.
You're not doing somebody else's. I think he's got three. Oh, this one? He has two mics.
I think someone else is calling.
Maybe too.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Be a good game, huh?
By any chance, can I charge my phone? I've got my. Can I put it over there?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Any of the ports is fine.
Yeah. So you always do this, or
the camera work?
Yeah.
Whenever there is a game on during the season, yeah.
So like tomorrow, are you doing as well?
Tomorrow I'm doing, I forget where I'm at, but yeah, another game, NPL, I'm not sure where.
Because I'm doing Manningham tomorrow.
Manningham, United Blues.
Yeah.
3 p.m., yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing the under 23 as well.
Petty Reserve. Yeah, I'll be there. So.
Ah, you're going to be there as well?
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. That's very close to my house, I think.
Which suburb do you live?
Doncaster East.
Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Yeah. How long was it? I think it was like 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
30 minutes. Okay.
Without the toll, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, with toll, maybe 5 minutes short.
Wow. Alright, so worth it. For 5 minutes to pay all the money.
Not gonna do it. Oh, there you go, that's the second.
Yep. 2022? On my birthday, actually.
Oh, see, it was a bit of a memorable day for a few reasons.
Yes. Wait, is that yours? How'd you get that?
This one?
Yes.
FA issue Penske file. They just gave it to us in about 2020. So and now, and that was like Simon Hill coming out to everyone at that
When they had a budget.
Road, and all that. So that's you there. I haven't turned it on yet. I've got power down here. This is really do a little test.
Do you want to? I'm also. You got this stat.
No, you're fine, man.
JC
you can leave your phone there if you want.
As a kid,
I'm waiting for a message from a supervisor for the lineups if they're right.
No, I don't know that. You need to announce this in the first half, especially if he's on the wing here.
Yeah, I absolutely will. I believe it's the same one.
Did you just sort of Google him and find it?
Yeah, he's like, he plays for Norfolk City. I'm like, it has to be the same guy.
Yeah. Norfolk City he came from. He was at Western.
He was at Norfolk City like 13.
Yeah, I've got a note saying. And
It's funny, after Wally, I actually just dropped 2 weeks ago at Man United. Staying at Wally.
Did he ever play Victoria?
Yes, he was at Altona last year.
Yeah. But he didn't really do anything. But then they were a hard team to get into last year.
And this Gully team is...
Testing 1 2, testing. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2. Good evening, good evening.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Awesome, mate. I'm buzzing.
You sound good in the ears here, so that's a good start.
That's good. I'm glad that I sound.
That's great.
All right.
Number 14,
So that's optional. You can use them.
number 15, Joel Regagu. Number 16, Josh Hope. Number 19, Justin Spiteri. Number 21, Jamie Yacob. Substitutes this evening for Green Gully. Number 3, Markovic. Number 5, Cuckoo. Number 7, Adam. Number 10, Yanucci. Number 20, Morford. And number 24, Aywala. Team lineup for your Heidelberg United Football Club this evening. For this round 13 in the NPL Victoria men's senior competition. Goalkeeper number 1, Yaron Souza. Number 3, Ben Collins. Number 4, Jamal Ali. Number 5, Hayden Fetahagic. Number 7, Leo Mazis.
How are you? How you doing?
Number 12,
You're my favourite.
Dion Nicolaides.
I think I had you last year here as well, didn't I?
Number 14, the skipper, Kane Shepherd. Number 16, Asahi Yokokawa. Number 17, Joshua Pin. Number 20, Mohammed Aidara. And number 21, Nicholas Olsen. Substitutes this evening for Heidelberg United Football Club. Reserve goalkeeper number 22, Ryan Govan. Number 6, Anthony Lesiotis. Number 8, Owen Ashton. Number 10, Dominic Alla. Number 13, Johnny Apostolopoulos. And number 19,
the sun is like
Sean Ellis.
Yeah, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, on behalf of Heidelberg United Football Club, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge all of our major partners for the 2024 season, including Melbourne City Toyota, Windsor Management Insurance Brokers, Chemist Warehouse, AIG Security, My Dream RV, Prime Plastic Bags, for the 2024 season.
better. No, I don't want to body. In front of the well, there's already the side. Yeah, no, I don't mind, like, I'm going to be moving like this. Oh, you're going to be in the shot here. Yeah, corner. So when would be the corner? Behind here. You'll be away from us. Yeah, that's the thing.
Testing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could be honest. Right there is fine. Yeah, okay. You're in the shot. Just stop me, so. Right. Get off.
Well, good evening and welcome to NPL Victoria. It is round 4 of the competition. Friday night football coming your way from Olympic Village. Tonight's combatants Heidelberg United and Green Gully, both shooting for a 3rd win of the season from 4 starts. These two sides that fell outside the top 6 in 2023 are shooting for finals football in 2024 well and truly. Thanks for your company tonight on the NPL Victoria live stream coming to you via Facebook this evening. Steve Curtin, and alongside me, it's a very good evening and welcome to the broadcast, Neil Simons.
Hello, Steve. Buzzing for this one. This is, I'd say, one of the marquee matchups of round 4 in the NPL Victoria season. I'm certainly extremely keen to see how both these teams will shape up. Of course, for Green Gully, it presents a massive opportunity for them to really stake their claim as a top 6 side in this competition. And as for Heidelberg United, a great start to the season for them as well. Undefeated in the campaign, a 2-0 win over Dandenong Thunder last week. And under John Anastasiadis, you can really feel as if there's something in the air here at the Olympic Village.
Well, he's well and truly brought an air of professionalism to Olympic Village this season, coming across after his previous spell. He certainly did that at the Bentley Greens in the NPL previously, and working in the A-League professional setup for the last few years, along with the other Johnny A, John Aloisi. He's certainly raised the bar so far, and the expectations of the fans are increasing too as they roll in to Olympic Village tonight for this match. The lineups are in, Neil, and the lineup for Heidelberg is, if you're on a good thing, stick with it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say, for John Anastasiadis. And, well, you can really not complain. They've got a bunch of quality in that team, ex-A-League experience, professional experience, overseas as well. Of course, we'll start off with number 20, Mo Aidara, number 3, Ben Collins, number 5, Aiden Federhajic, number 7, Leo Mazes, number 12, Dion Nicolaitis, number 21, Nick Olsen, number 17, Josh Pinn, number 14, Kane Shepherd, and number 1, Yaron Souza, and number 16, Asahi Yokokawa on the bench for the Burgers. Number 13, Johnny Apostolopoulos. Number 8, Owen Ashton, who got on the score sheet last week. Number 19, Sean Ellis. Number 10, Dom Fella. Number 22, Ryan Govan. And number 6, Anthony Lesiotis makes his return to the Burgers matchday squad.
And Kane Shepherd and Mo Aidara are about to get us underway. Both teams in their home kits. Heidelberg, yellow and black, kicking to the right of your screen to get things underway. Green Gully in the green or white vertical stripes, their team. Just one change to their team that got that 4-1 win against Manningham United Blues last Friday night. Liam Driscoll continues in goal. In defence, it's Justin Spiteri at right back, the central defensive duo of Taylor Shrivers, who was on the score sheet last week, as well as Jalil Regaig, and the young left back is Jay Chiyama. The midfield 3, Thierry Iridikunda, Josh Hope and Jamie Latham. Ado Kadakpo comes back into the front 3 as Gianluca Iannucci drops to the bench. The front 3 also contains Lucas Derrick, who showed some good form last week, and also Luca Tavir, another player on the score sheet last week as well, along with Josh Hope, who got himself his first goal of the season too. And the subs tonight, we see Dalibor Markovic get his first involvement of the season since coming across from Preston. Also Abdul Rahman Kuku, Mohammed Adam, Gianluca Iannucci. The sub-keeper is Reef Murphy and Ashton Alawalia. It's a pretty strong bench for Stephen Downs to be able to choose from. It's an early touch for Aidara. Ali giving chase, and Iridakunda able to go back. Apologies for the sun blaring in the lens at the moment. Roman behind the camera for Sportscast Australia, doing his best to shield that from your eyes as we look for it to dip down behind the grandstand on the far side, and we'll have the best view of the action in a matter of seconds, I think, as that sun is falling behind the grandstand, Neil.
Yes, well, you know what, it's definitely a picturesque Olympic Village. Not at the moment, but you'll see that come to fruition in hopefully a few moments' time as Malale looks to play a ball down the line, searching for Nick Olsen. Of course, the former Brisbane Roar player, 19 appearances in the A-League men for the Roar. Most recently spent time in Vietnam with 3 clubs over there. Also Sutherland Sharks youth player, also at the Western Sydney Wanderers. Actually trained with both squads at the same time before he was eventually made full-time under Tony Popovic. And now we see Leo Marzis pick it up in midfield. Aiden Fedahadzic. Now to the Collins. And Dara in the second circle, back with Fedahadzic. Assessing his options going forward. Central defender. Look at the pierce-through pass in the front third, but it's picked up by Gully now, this time to Iradakunda. And racing inside there is Jay Siyama. And Aidara with a sliding challenge. Iradakunda and Aidara. It's Kane Shepherd on the D. Looks a line on one up from range and just wide of the goal. And Kane Shepherd, of course, dropping into midfield this season under JA. And, well, as he said on the Pitch to Park podcast this week, he can still consider himself a striker.
Second striker, if I'm correct, Neil. As,
yes.
He likes to keep the title of the striker position in that role that he plays. He doesn't want to be classed as a number 10. Speaking of striker as well, it looks like last week Lucas Derrick, who lined up through the middle for Gully, is starting on the right with Ado Kadakpo, who returns from suspension, playing in that number 9 role, at least in the early stages of this one. Chiyama, who's come across from Western United and hasn't missed a beat since arriving at Green Gully Reserve so far this season. 19 years of age and an excellent game last week. Rarely beaten. Ali right in front of our broadcast position here. Shepherd's in a little pocket of space. That's what he's going to be trying to do tonight, playing in that second striker role. Kane Shepherd, the captain's armband, but they've turned it over here. Tavir receiving from Josh Hope. Good use of the body play. The former Port Melbourne midfielder there. Latham under a little bit of pressure. And a big challenge by Shrivers. The New Zealander won the ball well, and he had to as well. Ball over the top, and there was no one really on the same wavelength in a white and green shirt to run to that one. So it's harmlessly running through to Yaron Souza and Heidelberg. Enjoying a good spell of possession so far. Both of these teams averaging over 50% of the football in their matches. It's going to be an interesting contest to see that they match up against each other tonight, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. Both ball dominant teams, and JA's influence on this side is becoming very apparent early on. If you were to put this side up against the great Bentley teams of old, you wouldn't see much of a difference in the way that they like to flow and progress the ball forward. You see Yabakawa now, it's Shepherd. So his options, looks towards the left-hand side and does find Nicolaides. Can't find pass on that occasion. Yabakawa into the midfield. Olsen approaching the box. Just unfortunately can't quite swing it through towards Josh Penn. Having a bit of trouble here. Gully looking to clear the ball away. Let's get back to goal. Tavia swivel his way through the Burgers midfield, and Shrivers laps the ball upfield. Dajic. Inside Dara. And the foul from Luka Tavia. Of course, one of the marquee sightings for Green Gully in this off-season have arrived with Jalil Regaig from the Port Melbourne Sharks, and well, if you want to really count it, Mohammed Adam also joined mid-season last campaign and has stamped his authority on this side as Luka Tavia. 12 goals and 50-odd appearances for the Sharks over the 2 seasons he had there, and he's really making a name for himself, dare I say, in Victoria. One of the better young players in this competition, Stephen.
That's right. A couple of really good seasons the last couple of years at Port Melbourne, where he scored 6 goals in that role that he played sort of behind Chris Duggan with the 2 10s under Adam Pittick. Halfway between a central and a wide area that he and Valley Sesnick used to play so well in that combination together. And a bit of a different role for him this year. He's in some of the wide areas in Stephen Downs' 4-3-3. He's drifting inside tonight and exchanging positions with Josh Hope, as we see taking place right now. Severe trying to come inside and own the corridor. Here's another one of those players you mentioned, Neil in Jalil Regaid. He's looking to wreck this time, and he's picked out Lucas Derrick. Pressure from Jamal Ali. He won it back very well. The 2 former Altona players combining there. Haidara and Ali. Shepherd. Pressure from the Cavaliers at the moment. Shepherd forced back. Jalil Regaid always favoured to win that one in front of Josh Pinn. Haidara. Play forward, as he always does. At far side, Burgess coming forward through Mazes. Kalades, the young left back, providing support. The defences are winning out so far in the early stages, Neil, in the first 6.5 minutes for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And notice how Jalil Regaid likes to pick up the ball in deep positions and progress the ball forward. He's not sort of known for that. One of the better ball-playing midfielders in this competition. Oh, sorry, defender, should I say. But he plays like a midfielder at times. It does Jalil Regaid. I remember in a Australia Cup preliminary qualifier against Richmond Soccer Club last year, he scored an absolute bomb from halfway, so he's very capable of doing so. As Driscoll has to deal with the press on the Burgers front line. Collins, handing back to Yaron Souza. Pedahajic. The Burgers look to break, this time through Nicolaides. First touch of the ball, and that's fine. Josh Pinn back to goal. He's brought it down by Shrivers, but no foul called there. Good first touch from Tavia. Sees Adolf Kadakbo away to enter the penalty area. Just unfortunately, the ball just under his foot in that time. Now it's Hope. Latham. Tavia. Strike away. It's deflected off Burgers player. Iradakunda. Shrivers. Beautiful turn from Tavia. Excellent body positioning. Look to get the cross away. They do so now towards the back post. Derrick is there. Of course, we also know this ground very well with Lucas Derrick.
Definitely did some of his best work back at this ground, and unfortunately he's gone to ground here holding his knees. Chalked up left a bit of a divot behind him, and you can see the concern that Jamal Ali's got for the Green Gully attacker here as the trainer's called out onto the field. Really hope that Lucas Derrick is okay. He's had some wretched luck with injury after being a star and capped at youth level by Australia, playing in that World Cup in 2015 in Chile for the Joeys.
Yeah, you can see Mohammed Adam is actually warming up right now, and this would be, well, it would spell disaster for Green Gully. Much has been made of Lucas Derrick's start to the season, and if he can't continue, I wouldn't say they have...
Fantastic game last week, by the way, did
excellent.
Lucas Derrick. So this would be horrible timing if he is to be forced off with injury here.
Yeah, absolutely, but you do have Mohammed Adam on the bench, so I don't think it's all too bad for Green Gully. Of course, the former Western Sydney Wanderers player. And yeah, Derrick seems to be in a bit of pain here. He hasn't got up as of yet. Of course, arriving from the Bentley Greens. I guess, Steve, to really make things semi-dire for Green Gully. I mean, they do have an abundance of attacking stocks. Adolf Kadakpo has been mentioned. Of course, Daniel Clark didn't sign on with the club following his pre-season stint. His number 9 shirt's actually been taken up by Shifa Ahmed, 23's player.
He's been banging in the goals,
yes,
in the 23s already this season.
Yes, 3 goals and 3. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make the squad tonight. Came on last week.
Well, Derrick is still receiving some attention, and it seems as if Mohammed Adam is indeed going to make his way onto the pitch. Has started on the bench for the first couple of games this season, but well-travelled is Mohammed Adam. signed with Sydney Olympic following his Western Sydney Wanderers release in 2020. Did play 19 games for them and scored a goal in the Cup as well.
So Lucas Derrick still, if you're wondering, he's still sitting over on this near side of the pitch against the fence with the trainer. Thoughts go out to him at the moment. Really tough luck early in this match as well.
Absolutely, but Mohammed Adam, just a lightning fast player, able to pick up balls in wide positions and drive inside with such efficiency. I'd say probably the most striker-like player they have, I'd say, in composition. Of course, did play with Xanthi as well. Didn't make an appearance for them in the Greek Super League 2, however. Also then moved to Japan in the lower tiers there.
And just a really good chance for Adam to show his wares tonight, given he's going to get at least 80 minutes of action here or thereabouts. Michael Mamis, the man in the middle tonight, is just making sure that the paperwork has been done on the far side and play can continue. The assistant referees tonight are Jake Keating and Didak Lee, and the fourth official over on the far side overseeing that change, Mark Tito. We're ready to get the ball rolling again with Jamal Ali. He's going to launch this one back to Ben Collins, and we saw him on the interview this week with John Anastasiadis behind the scenes on the Heidelberg media, and he's enjoying his move from the Melbourne Knights so far this season. Is Ben Collins, a young player with so much talent that came through the ranks at Northcote and then ended up getting the opportunity at A-League level. Just pause that thought for the moment, because Ado Kadakpo is on the ball in a dangerous position, and he's won the foul there, conceded by Yokokawa. And Gully can get some numbers forward. They've done the bulk of the defending out of the two sides out there at the moment so far in the opening stanza.
Well, it appears as if Gianluca Iannucci is also warming up as well. Mohammed Adam is seemingly having a bit of a chat with one of the assistant coaches and, of course, the team manager, Ruben Todorovsky, and, well, he is now going to come on. Maybe something to do with jewellery or something of that ilk, perhaps, but now that change is going to be confirmed.
Looking at the ring finger there, I think, Neil, you might be onto something, a bit of bling.
Very swaggy player is Mohammed Adam. And, well, he's arrived at the prompt time, in which we'll see a set piece from Jamie Latham.
Player number 7 added, replacing
Was a
player
centre.
number
Nice little back heel by Moai Dara. Leo Maz is away. Good sliding challenge from Justin Spiteri. Returning favour. Is Dion Nicolaides.
He's fully committed there, Nicolaides.
Absolutely. Gully have time to breathe now. Brigade. Back with Shrivers, of course, arriving from the Melbourne Knights just over a year ago. Well-accomplished player in his home country of New Zealand. Time back by the Burgers. Given away, Latham with a looping ball over the top to that right-hand side. Kadakpo poking over Fedajic's head. Kadakpo still on the ball. Idara winning out initially. Could Heidelberg be away? Nice little ball behind from Kane Shepherd, looking to find Josh Pinn. All dealt with by Gully, and they'll win the throw in as well.
Really good duel developing there between Shrivers and Pinn there. I think, Neil, two heavyweights of NPL Victoria going toe-to-toe, and neither of them willing to take a backward step, that's for sure. Interesting to see who comes out on top at the end of the evening, and it might play a big role in who goes home with the points. These sides have been battling it out, doing the double over each other in respective years. Last year it was Heidelberg getting 2 wins over Gully in the league. The year before, Gully 2 wins over the Burgers. And 2021 was Heidelberg getting the 2 wins over Green Gully, and the only season where that didn't happen was 2020, where we didn't get to play each other twice, Neil.
That is fantastic of the statistics that you prepared, Stephen, and I think it really speaks to the manner in which these sides have approached their last few campaigns. Heidelberg very sort of topsy-turvy this season. You just feel as if there's, as I mentioned before, something in the air, changing coach for the first time in what seems forever. with George Katsakis departing. And as for Gully, they've largely retained the same squad there or thereabouts in terms of player likeliness, in terms of what they can offer. Nice ball down to the far side. It's Leo Mazes driving through. It's Mazes still going, looking to roll it across goal, but he stepped out of play, and Bristol is very comfortable in dealing with this. Looks to take the goal kick quickly towards that right-hand side. Justin Spiteri, ball over the top. He, in fact, is a Maltese youth international, under 19s. Did play against Gibraltar last year in September. Hard to believe he's only 18 years of age and looks like a seasoned professional in this division.
A few stamps in the passport already, Neil. But speaking of players over on that far side, Leo Mazes, we talked about the pace of Josh Pym, but Leo Mazes coming down that left-hand side, coming across from a pretty decent season when he arrived in NPL Victoria Thunder last year. And he's looking the goods so far in this one, just running out of room down near the players' race in that previous attack. But I think Spiteri is going to have his hands full, just trying to keep an eye on Leo Mazes, maybe giving him just a bit of an extra yard of space to account for that blistering pace of Mazes. Here's Gully, as they like to do, trying to build it up from the back. It's a very well organised block of yellow shirts behind the ball here. A bit impatient from Regate perhaps, and here's a chance for the Burgers. Shepherd can turn in the centre circle of Olympic Village and spray this one out to Nicolaides. Here's Leo Mazes in space, down near the byline. He's got Pin in the middle. Kakawa arriving as well. Well away by Shrivers. Only as far as Shepherd, and it's just over the bar from Kane Shepherd. A dipping effort and a warning shot fired by the Burgers captain. And Green Gully are going to have to be on their toes because Kane Shepherd could well be on. He does have a habit of scoring against the Cavaliers.
Kane Shepherd, no matter where he is, Fox in the box, Fox outside of the box as well. Fantastic striking acumen to nearly find the back of the net on that occasion. You can see the Burgers are really looking to utilise that moment of play as momentum going forward as they win it back here through the pressing effort. In transition now, it's Ben Collins. Drive all the way through, almost like a Jalil Regaig-esque stride. And now as we see at El Kadakpo now. On that right-hand side for Gully, racing past Nicolaides. The young defender wins out on that occasion. Leo Mazes looks over the top. Pin judged to be in an offside position. According to the assistant on the near side here.
The fans behind us, Neil, not too impressed with that late flag. They thought Pin might have escaped the offside trap there.
I think it's a fair call from the assistant here. But of course, if you're a Burgers fan, you wouldn't be too happy with that. Of course, Josh Pin, he's a fairly underrated player on many strengths, I would say. Also arriving in the NPL Queensland and also via clubs in Victoria as well. Being of a very notable phrase. Shepherd looks to race through a goal here, and Shrivers has brought him down here. Michael Mammas has gone into his back pocket and given him a red card. And that is the tone setter of tone setters. Green Gully's captain is off.
Well, huge mistake by Shrivers, and he pays the ultimate price trying to redeem himself. Michael Mammas, well, he didn't really have a lot of options there, Neil.
Not at all.
Green Gully down to 10. Not even 20 minutes played. Taylor Shrivers, the hero last week, the villain this week, ripping off the captain's armband and marched down the tunnel. And not only that, the Burgers with the free kick in a really good position here. Kane Shepherd, blue boots, he's looking very interested. Very interested indeed.
Why not have a pop? It is Kane Shepherd. Hasn't got on the score sheet this season for the Burgers. Rejuvenated player. According to himself, in fact. 7 goals last campaign in the NPL Victoria.
30 years of age, Neil. It's renaissance time for him in his career, I think.
Like Wayne Rooney almost dropping into midfield in the latter portions of his career. And it will be Kane Shepherd. 20 yards out from goal. Right on the perimeter. a golden opportunity awaits. It's Kane Shepherd, straight into the wall. He'll try his luck again, but doesn't get the opportunity to let one fly. It's towards Muzzes now. Now Nicolaides flips him towards the area, but it's Liam Driscoll who claims, and if you did see on the camera there, it is Lucas Derrick who seems, I think it's maybe a wrist injury.
Yeah, it's not a knee injury, as we might have first thought at home. He's got the sling, the makeshift sling, and we'll wait to hear. I presume we'll have to wait for the x-rays to get confirmation of what kind of injury that is, but it could be 6 weeks on the sidelines, perhaps, you fear, for Lucas Derrick, who's, as we said, a goal and 2 assists last week. Forced off early in this one with injury as Hope and Collins collide there. And the question now is, for Stephen Downs, how does he respond to this sending off of his captain, Taylor Shrivers? And he's going to go to the bench here and make his second sub of the evening. So 2 of his substitute windows will be used up in the first 20-odd minutes here, Neil.
It's all going wrong for the Gully at the moment. Abdel Kuku is going to make his way onto the pitch in just a few moments, but before that happens, Jamie Latham will spray a pass towards that right-hand side. Nicolaides will get to it first. That was bundled over by Adolf Dakpo.
And the other question as well for Stephen Downs, who does he sacrifice here to make this change and get an extra defender out there? It's a tough call to make when you've already had to take off Lucas Derrick through injury as well. The card's not falling the way of Gully at the moment.
Not at all. And I would say, to be honest, you might be better off taking off perhaps Jamie Latham maybe, or something of that ilk, maybe Iradakunda. I mean, Abdel Kuku can play as a 6. So he did play in that position for Gully for a lot of last season, so he could definitely do a job, but in my opinion, you have to go all balls to the wall and attempt to get any sort of offensive phrase going forward as you can.
Yellow! Red! No, run! Come on, Gemma! Keep running! Keep running! Go forward! Go in front!
Okay, taking responsibility out there. Jamie Latham is temporarily playing as the other central defender until this change takes place.
Stay here! Stay here! Stay here! Stay here!
Good chance for the Burgers to take full advantage of this opportunity here.
Well done. 1, 2! 1, 2!
Here's Olsen. Can't miss him in those bright red boots, and he's got a little bit of space to perhaps pull the trigger on the left peg. Here's Olsen. It's blocked away. It falls back to him again. Finds some space. Shepherd, dancing feet. Nokakawa. Good defence by Latham, but it's only temporary reprieve. As Collins is back on the ball here. Jamal Ali, player we've seen in NPL Victoria, is a central defender, now operating as a right back. We know he loves to get forward from playing in central defence. I can only imagine he's going to be getting forward even more playing as a fullback this season, and particularly in moments like this when you're against 10. Score still 0-0 though here at the Village. Friday night football, NPL Victoria round 4 action. Steve Curtin and Neil Simons with you as that ball is cleared out onto the Darabin Creek side of the stadium here. There's a healthy crowd in as the floodlights start to take full effect, and we are about to see that substitution take place to make that adjustment after the recent sending off of Taylor Shrivers for a last man foul.
Abdel Kuku and Muhammad Adam, by the way, both involved in a South Sudanese training camp late last year, and it seems as if Luka Tafia is going to make way, and to be honest, it's to be expected. He is the number 10 of this side, and they're going to opt for a more defensive shape.
Hard luck for Luka Tafia, who would have been on for a big game under the Friday night lights tonight, but an opportunity now for Abdul Rahman Kuku, Egyptian-born defender, 25 years of age, 13 involvements in the matchday squad at Gully last season. It's a chance here to do his thing for the bulk of this match. Here's Adara, and it is in by Pin. Heidelberg take full advantage, and it's 1-0 to the Burgers. Only 25 minutes on the clock, and Gully's Friday night is in tatters, and it's great for the Burgers as the home fans rejoice, Neil.
That is excellent from Mo Idara. Such sumptuous quality on the ball, and to flick that across to Josh Pinn. It was coming. When you go down a player, it's very hard to compose yourself from a defensive position, and that's for Abdel Kuku. Dare I say, a baptism of fire. Josh Pinn getting on the score sheet. He did so 2 weeks ago against the Oakley Cannons, and has repeated that feat this evening.
Kuku only on the field for a couple of seconds there, Neil, before the ball finding itself in the back of the net. And as you correctly mentioned, the play there from Mo Idara was absolutely right out of the top drawer. Putting that on a platter for Pinn to nod home.
Of course, when you do play in the Belgian Pro League, I guess you do have that quality. It's on possession. Gully now. Josh Hope looking to break the space. Ben Collins. Jamal Ali. Finding Olsen on that right-hand touchline. He's got options in the middle, but all defended by Jim Chama. Olsen with a twist and turn. Finds Ali. Space is Idara switching to this right-hand side. Ball in behind for Jamal Ali. Across the face of goal, but Kuku is able to deal with it. Maybe another throw-in for Heidelberg United. Of course, we did see Jake Chiama on the ball there, attempting to defend that. Fun fact about him, he was a karate kid as a youngster. Excellent martial artist. In fact, at the age of 8, was considered one of the best karate kids in the country.
Well, Neil, perhaps this is the night where some of those skills might just come in handy. Down to 10.
Well, you hope not. You'd hope not.
A goal down. We're that close to the action here. I think you can hear everything we're saying as well. Jay Chiama out there. Foul. Going the way of the Burgers here as Josh Hope came sliding in.
Of course, he's also been sent off this season as well. So it's certainly red card is the name of the game for Green Gully this season, unfortunately. When
they can keep 10 players on the field, like last week, 4-1 wins, that's a good omen. So 4 matches, 3 send-offs so far. But plenty of time to turn this one around. But not the great disciplinary record they might have hoped for going into season 2024. Here's Idara dropping deep to pick up the ball off his central defenders now. This is Feder Hadzic. Gully is just going to have to be content to allow the Burgers to have possession in this part of the field. An offensive block now with Adam and Hope, the 2 prongs that Burgers want to play through.
Just a score update at Dandenong City. Dandenong City have taken the lead against the Oakley Cannons. Fowler opening the scoring, as we'll see Muzzes now. Excellent tackle there from Abdel Kuku.
Well played by Kuku there.
So perhaps an upset on the agenda at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex.
Well, a short turnaround for the Cannons. However, they only played 45 minutes last Sunday, so a bit of a weird week for them.
Very weird, in fact, and
not the start they would have envisaged down at Frank Holohan tonight.
Not at all. Now it's Jamal Ali. Mo Idara. Ali back with Olsen. Happy to knock it around in this middle region of Olympic Village's pitch. Shepherd deep to receive. Yamakawa back with Idara for the switch. Finds Olsen. Manages to keep it in, but it's almost over the fencing here. That's the Olympic Village. This facility has been renovated in recent seasons. No more running track, as you'd all know. In fact, we do have a new addition to the Olympic Village. It is the Souvlaki GR signage on the far side. I don't believe that was there last year.
No, and could we call that stand on the far side the Souvlaki GR stand for geographical reference of the western side of the pitch, Neil, perhaps?
Maybe. Well, I might have to ask the those who are informed, if they have the naming rights to that stand, which you can see some Burgers fans are congregating. And what I didn't see last season was the amount of people that congregated on the hill and on that far side. It's really great to see people get around this club in a new era. Of course, with the second division coming next year, people want to get behind their clubs, and although the Burgers aren't necessarily in that competition, you do feel as if there's something building here.
They've been pretty steady in competitions such as the Australia Cup, especially last season as well. In fact, that was the last time they were defeated, was that game against the Melbourne Knights in last September in the Cup. But yeah, interviewed this week on the club media as well, John Anastasiadis reminisced about the times when he would play here in front of 10,000 people, and perhaps bringing back, maybe not exactly those days, but something approaching that. And look, the way they're going so far this season, I'm not going to rule it out.
Absolutely not. Ali now looks forward, finds Olsen. 1-2 touch with Mo Idara. He's successful, but pressing forward is Thierry Iradikunda. Can't quite get complete possession of the football as Olsen still holds firm. Muzz is calling for it on that far side. Idara looking to demonstrate his technical quality on the ball. Now it's with Ben Collins. Across to Fedhajic. Muzz inside, now Okukawa. Ali stepping up forward. Slide for the pass towards Idara. Cannot do so on this occasion.
Well, Neil, you saw Iradikunda winning the ball back there in midfield. Problem was, when he picked it up, no one to play forward to at all ahead of him. Really caught in a tight spot. Eventually running out of ideas and losing possession. So, look, these are the challenges they're going to face Gully as they try and get themselves back into this game. They're sitting deep at the moment. Ben Collins' pass is a bit sloppy, and again Josh Hope this time receiving the ball with no one to play to. Jamie Latham is galloping down this near side, as is Mo Adam, and they've won the foul here, so a good free kick to win. Perhaps a chance for the set piece for, well, there's no Taylor Shrivers to get forward anymore, being sent off already in this one, but Jalil Regaig is an obvious target. And Abdul Rahman Kuku, oh, he's got a bit of height about him as well, Neil.
He does, and Jalil Regaig, 4 goals last season for the Sharks.
Loves these sort of situations.
In the league, did actually get on a set piece very early on in the campaign last year. Round one.
Round one, if I'm not mistaken.
Round one against Avondale, and it was from a very similar angle at JL Murphy. Standing over this one is Jamie Latham, Welsh import. Latham towards the near post with Fedhajic. Able to deal with it. Iradikunda looks to have a swing at it, but unfortunately for Gully, they'll have to retreat now. It's Mo Idara. Shepherd. This is sumptuous. The ball from Mazes can't exactly find Josh Pinn, but that was an excellent passage from the Burgers.
Touch here for Liam Driscoll. He hasn't had a lot to do, not really any saves to make. The one shot on target ended up in the back of the net that we've seen so far. Goal scorer Josh Pinn. It's his goal that separates these two sides. Numerical advantage in the way of the Burgers, with central defender Taylor Shriver sent off midway through the first half. Also Lucas Derrick forced from the field with an arm injury. Has departed the venue in a sling. So it's certainly advantage Burgers at the moment. It's Jamal Ali. They're enjoying the bulk of possession. If I was to guess, it would be probably pushing 70% now on the balance of play, and maybe even more than that if you were to look at the possession in the last 10 minutes or so. Here's Idara. His assist set up Josh Pinn. Fikawa. Magnetic first touch by him. Collins, he's got options out on this right-hand side. Olsen. Idara is covering every blade of grass out there in Olympic Village. Tried the little drag back nutmeg, it was unsuccessful. It's all Burgers up the field here. Collins. Fedhajic. It's a compact defensive shape. Green and white vertical stripes ahead of Ben Collins. Ali getting into the advanced position. Around Chiyama. Inside, Yokokawa. Josh Pinn. Back to goal. Nicolaides gets the cross in. The body of Latham. Some faint appeals for a handball behind us. All the way back to Yaron Souza, and the former Central Coast Mariners goalkeeper. Hasn't had too much to do himself tonight either.
No, not at all. And
trying to keep warm back there, Neil. Not quite like Mackenzie Arnold in Tashkent last Saturday night, but there'll be shades of that if the temperature does drop. It's just 19 degrees in Melbourne now after a warm top of around 28 earlier.
Yeah, Yaron Souza, what a career he's had. Started his career in Victoria with Pascoe Vale and made the switch to Melbourne City. So Nick Olsen now. Back by the Burgers. Nicolaides coming in. Very attacking spot to receive and play back to his central defenders. Now Jamal Ali. You did say that the Olympic Village, after the sun goes down, would create a picturesque image. You can see on that Green Gully goal side. Certainly is reflective of that statement. Now pinned back to goal on that left-hand channel. Muzzies. Nicolaides. Collins. Just outside of the centre circle. Heidelberg United. Short is Mazes. Swivel his way past and has done very well. Past head off Kadakbo. And the Gully get it away, but it's back into feet of Hayden Federhajic. Now it's with Collins, happy to knock it around in the centre circle region. Shepherd now. Asahi Yokokawa. Also able from Nagata. It's a Singaporean club, of course, not the Japanese affiliates. It's pinned again! An excellent save from Liam Driscoll. Just tipping it over the bar. And that was some delivery. And some virtue of luck. And also reflex goalkeeping ability. Liam Driscoll has kept this game 1-0.
Not a lot of highlights here in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but that certainly was him arriving at the front of the 6-yard box. The reflexes there from Liam Driscoll, keeping his side in the game. Some scores from around the grounds coming in as well as we wait for the ball to be delivered over to the corner for Olsen to deliver this one.
Yeah, the Cannons have indeed equalised. Olsen towards the centre, and Shepherd arriving there. It finds at the back post Ben Collins. A debut goal for Heidelberg United, number 3. And a reunited John Anastasiadis and Ben Collins can rejoice as they take the 2-0 lead over Green Gully. It was coming.
Well, he doesn't score too many goals, does Ben Collins, but they were queuing up there where the Burgers players as Gully scrambled to try and clear the ball from that corner kick by Nicholas Olsen. They couldn't get it away and they paid the price. And less than 10 minutes till half time, they find themselves down.
It was a very good delivery from Nick Olsen, but eventually did find the back post. And there was Ben Collins. No stranger to succeeding in Victoria football. He's able to flourish under this John Anastasiadis system of play. It's back with Federhajic. Now Mo Aidara. Cuckoo. Misplaced pass. Defeats of the goal scorer Collins. This time is Jamal Ali. He picks up his own miscued pass. Such a unique player is Jamal Ali, isn't he, Stephen? Just he's got the body of a centre back, but can move like a wing back. It's something incredible.
He's a fantastic player to watch, and he's so good at just skipping past opponents as well. Different function for him, as we said earlier on the call, Neil. We've seen him playing as that central defender, marauding out of that central defensive role, but now as a fullback, a real license to do that. Almost at will, as the Cavaliers trying to get forward here, away by Federhajic. Ball in had come in from Spiteri. Kidakpo, full head of steam, and he does win his side a corner kick, so a chance for Gully to get up the field and force Heidelberg to do their share of defending, which they haven't had much to do, particularly since Taylor Shivers was sent off midway through the first half. Shadows of half-time in the last 5 minutes of it at least, as you see, wow, it's quite a beautiful sunset over the Darebin Creek, over on that northland side of the pitch here, the western side of Olympic Village. The pitch is in fantastic condition for top quality football as well, Neil. One of the best playing surfaces you'll see anywhere in Victoria.
It is picturesque.
Here's Latham with the corner. A bit of height on it. Souza is there, claiming in front of Mo Adam, who tried in vain to get his scone on that ball. Neil reaches for his FE issue digital camera to get a picture of that sunset shot. Make sure it's a panorama there, mate.
Absolutely. A fantastic long ball from Kane Shepherd. Does find Josh Pitt approaching the byline. Leaves it short to Golson. Pickup is certainly in sync for the Burgers attackers. Now it's Ben Collins to fly one up from range. Maybe a bit too confident as Ben Collins. If I can score a tap in, I can launch it up from 35 yards out.
His confidence has gone up. I think he saw himself getting a brace before the half-time break. Should be not bad for a central defender. Not bad going at all. Where to here for Green Gully? That is the question, though. How can they find a way to get back into this match? It would be some sort of effort if they can turn this around, but at the moment it's all one-way traffic. Boys in yellow and black, well and truly on top, leading this one 2-0. It's Josh Hope. He was a shining light last week, one of many. Himself on the score sheet in the 4-1 win over Manning United. So he returned from that suspension that he incurred in the first round of the season. Spiteri. Shepherd got the foot in and concedes the throw over on the far side. Johnny Anastasiadis not requiring to use his bench, but plenty of options for the second half. Owen Ashton's a good one as well, isn't he, Neil? Become a bit of a super sub, a specialist, coming on and scoring last week. Didn't make the starting team tonight, but probably determined to repeat the act again tonight when he gets his chance.
Such a well-credentialed player as Owen Ashton has been a part of this Burgers side for a few seasons now, and of course arrived from West Bromwich Albion. Has that quality on the ball, and excellent finish last week. If you did see it, just drifted into the box and finished with such aplomb and quality. As you see Fedahajic now from one forward. That's going to find the arms of Liam Driscoll. I think something to mention about this Gully side is, although they've got all this quality, they are very, very young, which is quite, dare I say, a rarity in Victorian football. A bulk of this squad has played A-League minutes or A-League youth minutes in the NPL. So it's very intriguing to see how the side will grow over time in maturity.
It's Collins, the most recent goal scorer out there. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ali down the line, cut it by Chiyama. It's Mo Adam for options. He sees Latham in the middle, turns on a sixpence. Adam is there. Pressure from Adara. He's going to send this one out wide in front of Kidakpo. He's going to favour Aaron Souza in the all-purple kit, and he'll get there first. Enjoying controlling the tempo here. These Heidelberg players, you can see they're enjoying their football at the moment. Fantastic start to this season. Unbeaten so far. 2 wins and a draw against the highly rated Mobley Cannons that came as well back here a couple of weeks ago. Here's Mazes. Pressure from Kidakpo, forced to go back. Ball over the top as we see the fourth official put up the board, and Well, some innovative goalkeeping was required for Liam Driscoll to keep out Kane Shepherd there. Collins and Adam in the foot race now as the ball pings up the other end. It's very close to 3 there.
Speaking of the number 3, it's 3 minutes of added time in this contest, and can the Burgers get one more to reflect the amount of time that's been added on? Pin. It's Collins, Fedorhajic. Receiving in space is Yokokawa, also a Japanese youth international. Ali. Dara. Collins. Fedorhajic. Burgers controlling tempo in this round 4 NPL Victoria contest. Shepherd back to goal. Feeding Nicolaides. I'm sure these are nights that he would have dreamed of, playing in front of his home side's fans. The club. Ever since he was a little boy, loves the club with all his heart, does Dion Nicolaides, and has fit like a hand to a glove in this John Anastasiadis system.
Yeah, he's really established himself in there. Left back in the last couple of seasons, the 21-year-old. It's a real rainmaker from Driscoll. He's trying to use up the full 3 minutes of stoppage time while that ball hung in the air. Cuckoo contesting it. Josh Hope, the ball back on the floor, and the free kick will go the way of the former Melbourne Victory midfielder. It will be one of the last actions of this first half. Heidelberg having the better of the play in the early stages, slightly, but certainly having well and truly the best of the action since Taylor Shrivers was sent off. Joshua Pin opened the scoring through a nice assist from Mo Adara, and then second goal, an unlikely source, Ben Collins firing home from a goalmouth scramble after a Nicholas Olsen corner kick was not dealt with by the Gully defence. Spiteri. Cuckoo playing the ball over the top. Josh Hope is the furthest forward player. Making the run in support, riding shotgun was Jamie Latham, who's trying to encourage his teammates to keep charging until the final whistle of this first half. Some more lights come on here. Neil, perhaps the light tower from CB Smith Reserve is landed here somewhere, because it is bright, I must say. I will not need that reading lamp that I brought along in the kit tonight.
And that is the last action. So we have half-time here in this NPL Victoria Round 4 contest. The opener arriving from Josh Pin following Taylor Shriver's red card. And returning with his former coach, Ben Collins, getting on the score sheet in his second match for Heidelberg United at the Village. We'll be back with you in 15 minutes or so. Yeah, stay tuned across the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Plenty of matches to keep you company. Avondale about to kick off against Moreland City, and also Buchanan's continue their form against Dandenong City.
Testing, testing.
Welcome back for the second half. NPL Victoria, round 4. Heidelberg United leading Green Gully Cavaliers 2-0 in Friday night football from Olympic Village, getting the round started. The Burgers getting the job done so far. Steve Curtin and Neil Simons with you for the second half of this one. Players are back out on the park, and it will be Green Gully to kick us off. And welcome back to the commentary for the second 45, Neil Simons.
You know what? We thought at half-time, we've got to take in the picturesque views of the Olympic Village a bit more. So we should get in the stand and be amongst the crowd here on the near side as Josh Pinn looks to find his way through on goal, but he's in an offside position. But yes, a lot to talk about. Taylor Shriver's sent off very early on in that first half, has pretty much been the tone setter of this contest, as you would expect. The JA's side love to press, so they've really much of a muchness have enforced that to a high degree. As we see Kadapo now race through in the middle. It's Latham with the strike, and yeah, of course the Burgers just getting on top of Green Gully and getting those 2 goals.
Well, that's a good synopsis of the first 45, and we hope you're enjoying these pictures now coming to you from the elevated position rather than the touchline view. For the second 45, you can see that immaculate pitch, that great playing surface out there that these two sides are doing battle on at the moment. Green Gully with a little bit of possession, and it's not something they've had a lot of during this encounter. Going carelessly giving it away there. Going to run all the way through to Yaron Souza. He's a player that we recall from his involvement last year in the A-League All Access, the episode that featured the cult hero, Jason Cummings.
Yes, and of course both of them have spent sort of, I guess, Yaron Souza more so experiencing Malta in recent times. Of course, Yaron actually broke into Pasco Vale as a teenager. Of course, made the switch to Melbourne City, as was mentioned in that first half.
Driving forward, Feta Hajic looking for Shepherd. Well read. That time there. Jalil Regay.
Seeing Muzzers pick up just on halfway now, and such a fantastic player to have down this left flank. Of course, Canberran is Leo Muzzers, spent time at Celtic under Brendan Rodgers. Didn't really work out for him there, unfortunately. Was able to learn off the likes of Tommy Rogic, a fellow Canberra who, well, I guess we can call him a Celtic legend now, considering that he has retired. Pin now in the centre circle. Feta Hajic. Okakawa in space, looking to unleash Muzzes, racing into the penalty area, but doing his defensive duties was an Alf Kadakbo.
Ado Kadakpo there, getting back and covering well. Started the match as the centre forward. Found himself at right back there, at least temporarily. Getting back to help Justin Spiteri. The Nicolaides with the throw. 21-year-old left back, hurling the ball into the box. Dara gets to the fall of it. Here's Collins. Probably still replaying that goal he scored over and over in his head in the first half.
It's Aiden Feta Hajic. Of course, formerly of Lions FC, Olympic, also at South Melbourne. He's been around the traps in Victoria for quite some time now. Shepherd. Feta Hajic. In the centre circle is Ben Collins. Burger's happy to recycle possession as he looks to play a line splitting pass, but it's won back by Kane Shepherd now. Tricky feet, and Jamal Ali now. In his right hand channel is Nick Olsen. Olsen going to shape across into the box. Regag deals with it well. Latham now. Ali will give the Burgers some time to breathe. Now, Stephen.
It's Nicolaides. Heidelberg looking for a third to really put this game to bed early in the first half. Shepherd dropping deep to get a touch. It's a very compact defensive block, the 10 men of Green Gully. Feta Hajic. This is Shepherd. We talked about Shepherd's role in this team. Spoke with the great man himself during the week, Neil, and he said second striker. He was dropping back to a number 6 there for a little while. Here's Latham for the Cavaliers. Chiyama put under pressure. Good pressure by Olsen. Now Adara into the central area. Olsen again. Okakawa loses out. So Josh Hope, who tried to get forward and apply some pressure, but he didn't have a lot of allies beside him.
Rinse and repeat for Heidelberg United. Ben Collins finding Nick Olsen. Stepping into midfield is Feta Hajic, and wants to play a long ball over the top, but cannot find Dion Nicolaides, who is making the darting run down that left-hand touchline. It will be a throw-in for Green Gully. Usher and then upfield. It's now Gully with a rare spell of possession. That lasted about 5 seconds. It's Nick Olsen now. Looks to his right. Chiyama stepping in. It's back with Olsen now. Idara. Back with Nick Olsen. Doing his defensive duties. Player going to ground being Josh Pinn. Involved with a bit of a scuffle with Jalil Regaig. We'll have to look back at that challenge to see what exactly occurred there. Was certainly off the ball.
Just catch them on the replay screen here, Neil. You can always skip back and pause and rewind these YouTube streams at any time. And it was off the ball. Players just stopped for the injury rather than a free kick, from what I can see.
Maybe a trailing arm, something of that ilk.
Pick up there, but Pinn colliding with Regaig off the ball, and we'll see Pinn getting back up to his feet. One of the goal scorers. He opened the scoring tonight. Josh Pinn. Just in a little bit of pain. May have caught one to the snoz there, perhaps, Neil, and we'll get going again with the drop ball here for Liam Driscoll from our referee, Michael Mammis.
Yeah, it seems as if Josh Pinn is all okay. Which is good. He's been a focal point of this Burgers team today and this season. Looks to be their goal scoring option up top this campaign. That's Abdel Kuku. Restart to play for the Cavaliers. Just Pateri. Latham, of course, formerly of the Swansea City Academy. Just to find Adolf Kadakpo on this right-hand touch line. He looks to drive inside, approaching the byline. Across the face of goal, but Yaron Souza claims. He might look to mount a counter-attack for the Burgers through Nick Olsen now. He finds Jamal Ali, and Burgers can reset.
He's Olsen looking to switch the play. Nakakawa, Nicolaides, and the routine pass, inexplicably, runs out of the play. Latham receiving from Regaig. Pinn back out there after that knock to the face, applying the pressure. It runs all the way through to Feder Hadzic. Feder Hadzic and Collins, they're certainly enjoying their football out there as Collins strides across the halfway line, looks to play the ball down towards the corner for Ali. Who looked second favourite to get there, but he made the ground. Wins this side a corner kick, so good play again. Jamal Ali getting forward from right back. Combining well with Ben Collins. Strong back four with this Heidelberg side. Very impressive so far this season. And odds on to get another clean sheet tonight. That back four of Nicolaides, Feder Hadzic, Collins and Ali. It's in by Olsen. Kuku won the header. Mazes flicked it further forwards, but it was easily picked up by Liam Driscoll. Cavaliers just one shot in anger so far tonight. Could they be on for a second here? Perhaps this is Josh Hope going his own way. And what a great solo effort that could have been as he beats the ground in disappointment. He had a couple of players to beat, as well as Yaron Souza. Tracked the ball through the air, got to the fall of it. Did a lot of the hard work too, in fact. Couldn't fire it past the Heidelberg shot stopper, who was quite grateful to receive that one into the gloves for his first save of the match, Neil.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe that Yaron Souza's only had to make one save. I guess if you want to call that cross across the face earlier on a save, you could, but you see Mazes now drifting onto his right. It's Leo Mazes. It's well defended by Justin Spiteri. Finds Kadakpo now with a good first touch. He wins it back. Very unique career path for of Kadakpo. Of course, you don't often see players from the NPL New South Wales drop down to NPL Victoria, but he's done that very switch, moving across from Blacktown City. Looks to receive it down the line. Mazes now. Hajic. Ben Collins. Olsen on this far touchline across from the Souvlaki GR stand. Shepherd now. Back to goal. Hajic stepping away, and Redakunda certainly causing him some problems, but it's won back by the Heidelberg captain.
For a full stretch there, making the interception. Such a healthy crowd in here tonight. It is a vast and open venue, similar to that of Green Gully Reserve in some ways, maybe even bigger, I suppose, given the seating capacity. There would have to be well over 1,000 people in here tonight enjoying this action, and the Heidelberg fans, while it's not, it's not a fantastic occasion for the neutral when you see a team go down to 10 men in the first 20 minutes, but the home fans don't care. They're enjoying this, and they're enjoying the start to the season. And we talked about the crowds here and glory days of 10,000 people turning up. Well, people are turning up here again in numbers, and they're enjoying these Friday night kickoffs. We've seen a lot of Sunday afternoon action here, Neil, but perhaps Friday night is the right time slot for these Burgers fans, because they're all here and they're loving it.
I completely agree with you, and I think we saw Green Gully have their trademark convoy, the Green Gully bus that makes the journey to wherever the away game is played. Why not have that next week for Heidelberg United? All the fans can travel to Lakeside Stadium for the first Hellenic derby of the season. That is shaping up to be an absolute masterclass.
What a game that could be. And I remember when South Melbourne first dropped out of the old NSL and they played each other in round one of the old VPL back in January of about 2005. It was the same night as Lakey Hewitt was playing in the Australian Open final. A warm night at Lakeside Stadium prior to the athletics track going in there too, and 11,000 people in attendance that night. Maybe we can push for that next week, but we've got a change. First change for John Anastasiadis to taking place, Neil.
Yes, Kane Shepherd and Dion Nicolaides making way. Oncoming Johnny Apostolopoulos and Sean Ellis. So the captain's armband has shifted hands twice this evening for both sides. So we'll see Sean Ellis make his way onto the park.
A couple of redheads there as well to keep us on our toes up here, Neil.
It's the aforementioned Ellis nearly receiving a touch of the football there. Johnny Apostolopoulos arriving from Northcote City mid last season, sporting the excellent mullet, might I say.
Well, there's no issues picking Johnny out there, even from this distance when he's on the far side with that dude.
Yes, and he's going to take up a spot at right back, it seems.
Must take up a fair bit of time with his hair care routine as well, Neil, because they are some flowing locks that I can see glistening under the floodlights here at Olympic Village, where the scoreboard behind Liam Driscoll there reads Heidelberg United 2, Green Gully 0. The Cavaliers trying to find a way just to get one goal and then perhaps see what could happen, and Josh Hope is the man trying to provide that spark, winning that header there. Here's Jamie Latham down at ground level, switching the play out wide. Mo Adam find a little bit of space, and he's done well here. Mo Adam gets past one, but he can't get past Mo Adara. The free kick's going to go against Mo Adam. The fans would like to see a sanction for him kicking the ball away there, but I think Michael Mamas is going to give him the benefit of the doubt and a bit of sympathy there. No further action.
If you do remember last year when he played for the Port Melbourne Sharks, Muhammad Adam actually did get sent off. And I think the yellow card that he got sent off for was for kicking the ball away, from memory.
And may have been at this very venue.
Yeah, it was at this venue.
Well,
yes,
Neil.
it was, yes. Very early on in the season, of course, a stoppage time equaliser from Shigeta Masuda, who has obviously since departed the club. Josh Hope now in possession, goes to ground and is awarded the free kick. And Michael Mamas going to give Mo Idara a talking to.
Well, Josh Hope really is a one-man band out there, and he's trying to inspire his teammates. Showed some really good form last week, and If anyone is to get the Cavaliers going again, fancy it is Josh Hope. When they're moving into possession, he's at times moving into a 9 role, but then he's also playing probably a 6 or an 8 when they're out of possession too. So he's wearing a couple of hats at the moment. This one runs through to big AJ, Aiden Federhajic. Looks like he's taken on the captain's armband since Kane Shepherd has left the field now.
Definitely a worthy recipient of the armband is Federhajic, and now it's Johnny Apostolopoulos making the overlapping run down that right-hand channel. Jake Chiama just sending that out of play.
The fans are finding voice here, Neil. It's only a matter of time.
I was about to say, you know it's going to be a good night at the Village when the chant of Alexandrios is pumping at the back of the Olympic Village grandstand. I
think it's the Poznan of Heidelberg West, isn't it, Neil? It's 62 minutes, you're 2-0 up. You know what comes next.
Absolutely.
We even got a young gentleman on a mountain bike going past there. Didn't expect to see that.
It's all happening here.
Friday night, as we said, Friday night football, it seems like it sits well here at Olympic Village. It's Yokokawa combining the 2 new signings of the off-season, Olsen and Yokokawa in central midfield. Ali, Federhajic. We will go around the grounds. A couple of games in action tonight as well, running simultaneously with this one, albeit with staggered kickoff times, Dandenong City and Hopefully Cannons. That was 1-1 at last check, and we are now underway in the first half as well at CB Smith Reserve. Moreland City and Avondale, the more fancied Avondale visiting Faulkner tonight at CB Smith Reserve, and it's panoramic views from the grandstand there as well these days, Neil. Uninterrupted panoramic views.
The best, as Chris Gleason has remarked, it is his favourite ground in the NPL, which is a big, big call, but no light pull, no worries. Muzzes going to play through the pass towards Josh Pinn, but can't find the number 9.
Well, speaking of favourite grounds, Neil, you have to say that CB Smith Reserve has got something to try and live up to if it's to meet the standard of the quality of the playing surface out here in Olympic Village,
yes,
which hasn't dropped away since it hosted the Canadians here last year as their training base in the Women's World Cup. Here's Kadakpo. Bit of space for Jamie Latham. Closed down by Collins. Looking to find a teammate. Spiteri has made the forward run, using his body against Mazes. And a man that's very hard to get past, of course, Jamal Ali, and the little drag back and playing the ball out of defence as well. Here's Cuckoo.
No item now. Back to Reggae. Some momentum for the Cavaliers. Iradakunda. Some pretty tidy forwards here at Iradakunda. A couple of interrupted seasons, lack of game time of the sorts. Of course, was at Western United with Johnny A. To make several appearances for that A-League side. Spent time at the Melbourne Victory Youth Academy. And you can really hardly believe that he's 24 years old now. Now it's with Abdullah Kuku. Receives the midway point of their defensive half. Green Gully, Liam Driscoll. Looking upfield. Apostolopoulos in queue with Mo Adam, who was in an offside position.
Gully can ill afford to be flagged for offside in their few advances that they have forward.
We'll see a change for them as well. Yes.
Does look like a change. So the third change to take place for Johnny A.
And of course, if you do remember, Green Gully only have one substitution window left due to the 2 made in that first half, and it will be Asai Yokokawa making way. And oncoming will be Anthony Lesiotis, who, well, I guess is a pretty good player to bring on. Many will remember him from his time at Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City.
Definitely impressed me last season, particularly when Heidelberg hosted Avondale at Northcote's ground at John Cain. Played an outstanding game midfield that day when they managed to get a point off Avondale, and it could have almost been all three if it wasn't for a late goal by Liston Diaz.
Yes, and Speaking of Avondale.
Olsen's touch lets him down. Kadakpo is going to try and surge forward. Showing too much of the ball to Nicholas Olsen, who won it back. Leo Mazes now. Dara. Lesiotis, the fresh legs. Slotting straight into central midfield. Next to Mo Dara. Kostelopoulos. All over the top. Was aimed at pin. Good idea from Olsen. Well read though by Driscoll, who he hasn't done too much wrong tonight, despite having his senior side go 2 goals behind already in the first 68 minutes here. Here's Kadakpo using his strength to shield the ball, but Jamal Ali is having an excellent game tonight, showing his versatility as well. Neil moving from right back, now left back. He can play anywhere across the back four, and wherever you play him across the back four, he's going to get the ball and come motoring forward with it. You can bet that. Little 1-2. Mo Dara for Johnny. Oh, it's a big turnover here. Here's Pin. Mays top of the box, and Olsen is there. In fact, it may actually be the substitute, Neil. Sean Ellis. The Burgers, a 3 to the good.
Well, you mentioned Leo Driscoll's had a great game. The commentator's curse strikes again. It's Josh Pinn receiving the ball on the byline. Eventually finds Sean Ellis. Heidelberg's hero, the Scotsman, delivering once again. And that is just the icing on the cake. Sean Ellis slotting away in the 69th minute. We do see the final change confirmed. Gianluca Iannucci making his way on the park. And off Kadakpo will make way. Iannucci, of course, such an excellent player. Scored a goal against the Burgers here. And what a fantastic goal that was as well. Can he replicate his exploits in these last 20 minutes or so? Gianluca Iannucci.
And it's got so loud up here now that we can barely hear each other in the commentary position, the elevated commentary position that we find ourselves in for the second 45. We hope you're enjoying all the action on NPL Victoria YouTube tonight. Sean Ellis, the most recent goal scorer, not long off the bench and finding the back of the net to make it 3-0. And Heidelberg fans certainly enjoying this. They're lapping this up tonight as they head for what will be 3 wins from 4 and an undefeated start to the season in NPL Victoria 2024. Are the glory days coming back to the village?
Aiden Fedhajic, stand-in captain now. Across to Collins. They've also had a fantastic defensive record, it has to be said. In his first 4 games, Heidelberg United. What a fantastic drag back from Sean Ellis. He's going to make his way into the penalty area. It's cleared by the Cavaliers. Picked up by Ben Collins. Now Mo Dara. Sumptuous turn and finds Lesiotis. Golson dropping into a more central position, it seems. Now it's with Collins again. Lesiotis. Leo Mazes, left-hand touchline. As he takes in the
no effects, Mike.
In the chance of
tonight, I think, Neil.
in the chance of Alexandrios. And this will see him in a fantastic spot. Heidelberg United, I believe, in top spot. Of course, they do have to wait for other games to be played, including Avondale's and also South Melbourne's this weekend.
Good way to start the weekend if you do come away from Friday night football on top of the league. Over to the other teams in NPL Victoria to get the job done.
Absolutely. Anthony Lesiotis now. Ben Collins. Fourth into the box. It's picked on the edge of the area by Josh Pinn. And sliding in there was Iannucci. It will be won by Jamal Ali.
Well, it's all happening out in the middle, and it's all happening in front of us too. The gentleman in the Heidelberg jacket and cap is getting a bit of a back adjustment from that large larger man in the black t-shirt there. Ben Collins plays the ball forward here. Here's Olsen. Kicking up the line. Chance for Kostolopoulos. Playing the ball in. Dealt with by the Gully defence. Here's Olsen again. Steal by Hope, but again, he's got no one ahead of him to play the ball forward too. So he's going to go on a bit of an adventure out the wing, and he's found Jamie Latham, who'd made the forward run beyond Josh Hope. Josh Hope would like to see perhaps a yellow card shown to Nicholas Olsen, and that's what we do see from Michael Mavis. As Olsen goes into the book, a lot of book work to do so far for Michael Mavis, apart from the paperwork for that red card that he issued to Taylor Shrivers midway through the first half, the real turning point in this game. It's Latham trying to switch the play out this side. Spiteri. Iannucci, fresh legs. As Neil said, doesn't mind a spectacular goal at this very venue. Getting forward there, the unlikely figure of Jalil Regay. Found himself getting forward, but in an offside position.
You see the final change for Heidelberg United. Double change, it looks like. Who will come on? It's going to be Owen Ashton, it seems. We'll see Mo Idara now. Karajic, Vicious, Jamal Ali. Fedhajic. Now Ben Collins. Space opening up on the right for Apostolopoulos, but Ellis will have to go through the middle and find Nick Olsen. An immaculate first touch. He's turned away from his marker towards the byline. Crossed towards the back post, but will fall over the bar, and the double change now confirmed. Mo Idara is going to make way for Dom Fella. And as we did mention, Owen Ashton is also going to make his way onto the Olympic Village deck. Who for? Leo Mazes.
So another chance. Owen Ashton, the super sub, came on and scored last week at George Andrews to seal the game. Well, he's basically a luxury item bringing on when you're 3-0 up already. What a fine goal that was last week, cutting in and curling a powerful shot to the far post. Owen Ashton charging out there, ready to get into the action. Here's Spiteri playing forward. Iannucci. All the other pairs of fresh legs out there. Josh Hope was the target of that one, and well read by Fedhajic. Full stretch, knocking that one out of play. Well, the goal difference of Heidelberg United getting a real boost. They only scored 4 this season in the 3 fixtures prior to tonight, and they've got a further 3 to add to that tonight already. Maybe more to come. At the moment, it's the Cavaliers trying to get forward through Mo Adam. One way, then the other, trying to get past Johnny Kostolopoulos, who concedes the corner kick. Gianluca Iannucci, he's keen, he's charging over to the corner flag to put this one down in the quadrant and swing it into the 6-yard box.
Iannucci. Send this into the mixer. Cavaliers really aren't ushering up players forward. Well, dare I misspoke, as we see Iradakunda and Chiama make their way into the area. It's Ben Collins who gets ahead to it. Burgers clear their lines as far as William Driscoll now, former Reading goalkeeper. As of all players, Jalil Regay making a forward run. And Heidelberg will reset through Ben Collins. And that game next week, I know we mentioned it a few minutes ago, but against South Melbourne, 2 tactically orientated coaches, 2 contrasting systems. It's going to be, I'd say, the match firmly of the round, but probably the best match of the 5 rounds we've had in the NPL Victoria season so far, Stephen.
Yes, I haven't looked at the other 6 taking place next week at this point, Neil, but safe to say that will be the match of the round. South Melbourne, of course, they've got an interesting trip out to the northeast tomorrow to try their luck on the synthetic against Manningham United, who Gully saw short work of last week, and Sean Ellis is offside here. Scotsman making that forward run into that right-hand channel. Already with 1 goal to his name, the substitute. Such an experienced campaigner at this level. Approaching 160 appearances in NPL Victoria. Sean Ellis, his first goal of the season tonight.
Go around the grounds briefly.
Open your account for the new year. Here's Ben Collins. Switching the play. Jamal Ali now operating as the left back. All the way back, and a rare touch for Yaron Sosa, who was at full stretch there as well.
Yes.
Almost misjudged it for a fraction of a second. We'll go around the grounds with Neil.
Yes, no score changes across the grounds. In the 63rd minute, Dandenong City still locked up with the Oakley Cannons, and 0-0 at Moreland City. The defence of Moreland holding up strongly against, well, a rampant Avondale side who've been goal happy in the first few rounds of the season, with a very changed defensive back four. Massimo D'Argenio getting his first start for Avondale and his first appearance in a matchday squad this season. A baptism of fire for the young central defender. As we see a corner arrive on the left foot of Sean Ellis. In towards the back post. Collins approaching the corner flag now. Manages to drive it past Jalil Regaig and seemingly almost kept on going. Of course, those two central defenders played with each other at Western United and also in that NPL team. Nice little flick back from Jamie Latham. The combo and the triangle unable to be executed on that occasion. And Jamal Ali to take the throw in. Now he's got options to his right. Searches and finds Anthony Lesiotis, who hasn't had much to do. Dom Fella now. Fella in the box, but playing by Driscoll now.
Dom Fella, Neil, another pretty handy player to be able to bring off the bench as well for John Anastasiadis. Shuffled the pack with those changes in the second half, but certainly hasn't weakened the side in any way. Driscoll sent this one up and over the halfway line, but also across the touchline. In front of the crowd here that is vocal and healthy in numbers. Ali with the throw. 10 minutes to go at Olympic Village. Fantastic night for Heidelberg. The Burgers leading 3-0. Sean Ellis, the most recent goal scorer. Josh Pinn opened the scoring, and in between those it was Ben Collins. He made it 2-0 before half-time. Gully without Taylor Shrivers, who was sent off. And also Lucas Derrick, who went off with an arm injury. His arm in a sling. We wish him a speedy recovery. Lucas Derrick, a player that was in great form last week. This time last Friday night. For Green Gully, who are the Friday night specialists, it seems. They're at home against Altona Magic next Friday night before they travel to the Oakley Cannons. A match that's scheduled for Friday night, but well, that may be in fact moved to a Sunday, as we've seen the issues with the venue there at the Cannons ground being affected by the recent storms and the floodlights being put out of action. And then it's another Friday night fixture in round 7 as well for the Gully as they host Dandenong Thunder at home. You mentioned Heidelberg playing South Melbourne next week, Neil. They've got a bunch of away trips coming up, so they've had some good results at home. But Port Melbourne away after they play South Melbourne away next week. And here's Jamal Ali. Now he's the latest player to be flagged offside. So a string of offsides here. As we're saying, the following week in round 7, it is a Saturday afternoon fixture at the old Reggio Calabria club. That is, of course, Adventure Park. Avondale. So an exciting 3 weeks coming up, all on the road for the Burgers, but what a big 3 games they could be in the trajectory of their season if they're able to continue this kind of form. Josh Hope is really striding forward, doing a lot of that gut running, as they might say in another football code, Neil. But unable to get on the end of that ball as Feta Hajic plays the ball forward. Jamal Ali. We've had an incident take place at CV Smith Reserve, Neil. We'll get to that in just a moment as Josh Hope is trying to get something going, and he's played the ball against Michael Mammis.
A red card for Avondale against Moreland City. That is probably the worst possible start to this game for the Avengers, who had 2 red cards last week, players-wise. One in the form of Zoran Markovsky, who was a coach, which makes it 3. A bit of a Steiner math for you, dare I say. That certainly makes things very interesting.
Well, it seems like Green Gully and Avondale are competing for the least fair play point so far this season. Gully with 3 red cards.
Yes.
I've lost count of the Avondale ones. You might be able to tally those up in your head as well, Neil, but it must be neck and neck. Here's Latham. Decent spell here for Gully, trying to just apply a little bit of pressure and try and get some confidence going. They've had it really rocked tonight. So often we saw them last season, Green Gully, a great result one week, disappointing the next, then a great win the following. Shades of that here tonight, you feel?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for Green Gully, it's a really tough one to take because they looked relatively strong in those first 10 minutes or so, prior to Lucas Derrick's injury, and then I guess you add a red card into the mix, it spells disaster, and that's exactly been the case tonight. And I think Stephen Downs' men could be very interesting, I think, in terms of momentum and momentum shifts, and that's about maturity, how you can adjust as a young side to various playing conditions and what have you. But I think when they start to really find their stride, they'll start to kick on, and hence that's why I do believe they'll be a top side this year. It's hard to control a game when you have 10 men. It's hard to control a game when you have a lack of composure in the middle as well. The most experienced player on the park tonight is actually Jamie Latham, and he's 27 years old. So it's certainly been one of those games. And for Gully, I'm sure a lot of stern chats to be had midweek, not just about discipline, but also about remaining composed, as we see Nick Olsen stride through the middle now. Sean Ellis looking to find Ashton, just can't exactly find his running direction. Rolling it across the face for Olsen. Sean Ellis now. Nice little 1-2 with Nick Olsen. Twisting, turning. Across the byline now, and Cuckoo was there with a timely interception. Now Ionucci.
That was calm by Cuckoo.
Yes. And of course, he got a lot of match minutes in the US as well. We can't forget that he did play college ball over there. Not quite the path that many Australian men's footballers take, but also a female pathway, dare I say.
Well, variety is the spice of life, and we're seeing that with the cross-section of players out in the middle of Big Village tonight. One's going to run out of play in front of Apostolopoulos. Chiama with the throw. There's no time for Gully to pull one back. They've really put in some serious effort in the last 15 minutes or so and got the ball a little bit further up the park. Could be an injury concern for Josh Pinn, who's rolling around on the turf out there. Play's going to go on. This appeals for the ball to be put out of play. Still it continues though. Iridikunda. Siama's ball forward. Will we see the ball put out of play now? Perhaps. Still it goes. Well, it's effectively 10v10 for the moment, and eventually the ball does go out of play. Home fans, they're not too pleased.
Well, we mentioned red cards. Moreland City.
No.
Look, Jucic has been sent off in stoppage time in the first half.
10v10 at CB.
The NPL Victoria is the best league in the world, Stephen, and I will stick by that fact. And, well, I think, for me at least, that the first 2-3 weeks or so were very demonstrative of some teams finding their stride, some teams sort of, it's hard to sort of tell, but I think tonight specifically, look at all 3 games, Oakley, Heidelberg, Avondale, Green Gully, and Dandenong City as well. The teams that have performed exceptionally well in the first few weeks of the season. Tonight might be the time in which we see the men being separated from the boys a little bit.
This could be it, Neil. And the concern at the moment, they're out in the middle, is still for Josh Pinn. His first goal of the season earlier tonight, or his second, should I say, but he's down, still down, receiving treatment. Just waiting to see if perhaps we might see the stretcher called out here. It's a lower leg injury. It's obvious to see what happened. We'll try and catch a replay, see if we can see a bit clearer, but some real hard luck with injuries tonight to Lucas Derrick, and now we see Josh Pinn, who's been playing in that number 9 role. May not be his favourite position. He seems to enjoy his football in those wide areas, but such is the dynamic of the squad with Heidelberg this year that they've opted to play him as the 9 and use Kane Shepherd as the second striker in their starting 11 at least. And he's helped from the field. He's back up and walking, so can only hope that is something of a good sign. Yeah, but I think as they've used all their windows already, I think we're going to have some 10v10. We will have 10v10 here, and there's 10v10 at CB Smith. So plenty of good action to flick across to on the NPL Victoria YouTube streams tonight. But make sure you stay with us. Myself, Steve Curtin, and Neil Simons for the final few minutes here. Still potential of some good highlights before we close off proceedings as Jamal Ali returns the ball to Abdul Rahman Kuku. And in that Avondale game, trying to send the ball forward. Sorry, apologies. In that Avondale game, from that red card, free kick was taken. Sian Cuba, brilliant finish. So it's 1-0 at CB Smith. A bit of a cautious moment for Avondale, but they seem to be getting their game underway. Some pick-up has been Sian Cuba since he came down from Queensland. Sensational at Altona Magic last year, getting those underdogs into an unlikely finals campaign, and then getting the attention of Soren Markowski, making the move across to Evans Park, and is performing well so far. Here it is 10v10 now, with Josh Pinn forced from the field. No substitutes remaining for John Anastasiadis to make. Already made those 5 changes prior to the injury. Souza, pressure from Hope. Probably still trying to press the Warriors in the final third. Messiotis, good switch of play. Kostolopoulos playing forward. Ellis, substitute, getting on the score sheet tonight and winning the throw here. As we do tick into added time in this one.
Yes, and be a fairly easy added time to predict in terms of how the game will progress. Heidelberg more than happy to hold possession and hold firm. They've composed themselves in the right way throughout this contest. I think it's fitting the description of a professional performance from John Anastasiadis' side. Of course, they had a very intriguing pre-season, 4 days a week training at some points, which is almost unheard of at NPL level, and you can really see that the sharpness and match fitness come through now. Able to still be at full tilt for 90 minutes. The likes of Aiden Fadahajic is on the ball right now, and also Jamal Ali seemingly got a fantastic gas tank to run out games. Apostolopoulos with some trickery down that right-hand side now. Cut away from his marker. Siotis. Ashton. Reverse pass, looking to find Ellis. But Liam Driscoll claims.
Yeah, good bit of goalkeeping there from the West Aussie. So I think on that one. Here's Jay Chiama playing forward, playing direct. Unable to find. Yes, don't adjust your sets. Jalil Regae making the forward run again, and that's time. Michael Mamis has called a stop to this one, and it's a triumphant night for the Heidelberg United Warriors, 3-0 winners in a match that was touted as one of the games of the round. Two teams in top form contending for this year's finals, and it has been a yellow and black whitewash tonight, Neil. Fantastic performance. Goals coming from Josh Pinn, as well as Ben Collins and Sean Ellis. Not a great night for Gully, but it's great stuff for Heidelberg United, Neil.
If you're a Victorian footballing purist, one would say order is being restored. Heidelberg United sitting atop, as of recording, of the NPL Victoria table. They are coming for South Melbourne, Oakley and Avondale. The Burgers are back, and they've done it in the most professional way possible. 3-0 win over Green Gully. As for the Cavaliers, it's back to the drawing board for them. They'll be without Taylor Shrivers next week following his red card, and, well, a young side with a bit of growing up to do. And dare I say, a baptism of fire for a new look Cavaliers side under Stephen Downs. I've been Neil Simons, he's been Stephen Curtin. You can catch us on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Plenty of matches this weekend. South Melbourne in action tomorrow against Manningham. Hume City taking on Port Melbourne. It is going to be a very exciting weekend of football as well. We'll talk about the other games as well. Altona Magic against the Thunder, and on Sunday a Croatian derby, Melbourne Knights up against St Albans. Will the St Albans fans bring their Yui boom? That is the real question.
Well, we've done well to reach this point in the night, Neil, without mentioning the Yui boom, so glad that we got that in there. Fantastic performance again by Heidelberg as the fans make their way out the gates. Full credit to them as well. And NPL Victoria Friday Night Football will bid you adieu from Olympic Village. Heidelberg United 3, Green Gully 0. Good evening.